As we age, our hearts and minds naturally turn toward what truly matters: peace, clarity, and relationships that fill us with joy rather than drain us. Billy Graham's powerful message about the 5 people you must avoid in old age, even family, speaks directly to this truth, urging us to protect our emotional and spiritual well-being in our later years. Below, I'll unpack this concept in a detailed, engaging, and motivational way, crafted especially for elders. This expanded explanation is rich with vivid imagery, relatable examples, and practical wisdom, delivered in a catchy, uplifting tone inspired by Graham's passionate style. My goal is to make this resonate deeply, empowering you to live your golden years with freedom, purpose, and unshakable peace. The heart of the message: your peace is your greatest treasure. Picture yourself sitting on a quiet porch at sunrise, a warm cup of coffee in hand, the world still and serene. This is the kind of peace you've earned after decades of hard work, raising families, weathering storms, and carrying others' burdens. As you enter this sacred season of life, something shifts. You begin to crave stillness over noise, truth over drama, and sincerity over obligation. You've lived long enough to know that time is your most precious currency, and your energy is a gift to be guarded. But here's a truth that's hard to swallow: not everyone in your life, sometimes even those closest to you, like family, will honor this season. Some people, whether through habit, hurt, or selfishness, will try to pull you back into chaos, sap your strength, or dim your light. Billy Graham's message is a clarion call to recognize these 5 types of people and protect your peace at all costs. These aren't just casual acquaintances. They might be siblings, children, lifelong friends, or neighbors you've known for decades. The challenge is learning to love them while setting boundaries that keep your spirit free. Let's walk through each type, with stories, insights, and actionable steps to help you thrive. 1. The guilt tripper. Breaking free from emotional chains. Who they are: guilt trippers are masters of manipulation, often cloaking their control in love. They're the ones who sigh heavily when you say no, drop hints like, "I guess I'll manage alone," or remind you of past favors with lines like, "After all I did for you." They might be a child who expects you to babysit every weekend, a sibling who leans on you for endless favors, or a friend who makes you feel selfish for taking time for yourself. Their weapon? Guilt, wielded like a silent dagger to keep you in line. Why they're dangerous? Imagine your energy as a bucket of water, filled drop by drop over years of resilience. Guilt trippers poke holes in that bucket, draining you with every whispered jab or pointed silence. In your later years, when energy is scarce, this loss is devastating. They make you feel like you owe them your time, health, or even your existence, like aging is a debt you must repay. Over time, you might find yourself apologizing for resting, questioning your worth, or sacrificing your joy just to keep them happy. This isn't love, it's control dressed in familiarity. Meet Clara, an 82-year-old widow who loved her daughter, Susan, dearly. Susan would call every week, not to chat about life but to ask Clara to watch her grandkids, run errands, or lend money. When Clara finally said, "I need a weekend to rest," Susan replied, "Mom, I can't believe you're too busy for your own family." Clara's heart sank. She felt like a failure. But after months of exhaustion, Clara realized Susan's guilt was a leash, not love. She started setting limits, saying, "I love you, but I can only help once a month." At first, Susan pushed back, but Clara stood firm. Slowly, she reclaimed her Sundays for gardening and quiet reflection, feeling lighter than she had in years. What to do? Your life is not alone to be repaid, not to your children, siblings, or oldest friends. You've earned the right to rest, to say no, to choose yourself without apology. Here's how to break free. Recognize the pattern. Notice when someone's words make you feel small or selfish for setting boundaries. That heavy feeling in your chest? It's a sign of manipulation. Set clear boundaries. Practice phrases like, "I love you, but I can't do that right now," or "I need some time for myself." Keep it kind but firm. Reframe guilt. Instead of thinking, "I'm letting them down," tell yourself, "I'm choosing my peace." Every no to guilt is a yes to your well-being. Seek support. Share your feelings with a trusted friend or counselor who can remind you that your needs matter. You've carried the world on your shoulders long enough. Drop the guilt, lift your spirit, and walk free. Your peace is worth more than anyone's approval. 2. The energy vampire. Shield your light from chronic complainers. Who they are: energy vampires are the constant complainers who see the glass as half empty and cracked. They grumble about the weather, their health, their neighbors, or the price of eggs, never pausing to ask how you're doing. They might be a cousin who calls to vent for hours, a neighbor who corners you with endless gripes, or even a spouse who's forgotten how to find joy. Their negativity is like a dark cloud that blocks your sunshine. Why they're dangerous? Your energy in old age is like a flickering candle, precious and finite. Energy vampires blow it out with their steady drip of complaints, leaving you irritable, anxious, or drained. One visit can turn a peaceful day into a heavy one, and over time, their pessimism can seep into your outlook, making you doubt the beauty you once saw in life. They don't want solutions. They want you to join them in their misery, and that's a trap you can't afford. John, 75, had a lifelong friend, Mike, who loved to complain. Every coffee meetup became a 2-hour rant about Mike's aches, his ungrateful kids, or the government. John would leave feeling exhausted, his own joys, like his new hobby of painting, pushed aside. One day, John decided to redirect the conversation. "Mike, tell me something good that's happened this week." Mike brushed it off, diving back into complaints. John realized Mike wasn't interested in joy, only venting. He started limiting their meetups to once a month and joined a local art club instead, where people shared laughter and encouragement. moment. His days felt brighter, his heart lighter. What to do? You were born to shine, not to absorb someone else's darkness. Protect your energy with these steps. Limit exposure. Reduce time with complainers. If it's a close family member, try shorter visits or phone calls and steer conversations to neutral topics. Redirect negativity. When they start venting, gently shift the focus. That sounds tough. Hey, have you seen anything fun lately? If they persist, it's okay to excuse yourself. Surround yourself with light. Seek out people who uplift you, friends who laugh easily, neighbors who share stories of hope, or groups like book clubs or church circles that spark joy. Check your own energy. After spending time with someone, ask, do I feel energized or drained? Let that guide who you invite into your space. Your heart is too bright to be dimmed by someone's storm. Surround yourself with people who light up your world because you deserve joy. 3. The user. Stop being a convenience store for one-way love. Who they are. Users treat your relationship like a gas station. They pull in when they're low, take what they need, and drive off without a backward glance. They might be a relative who only calls when they need money, a friend who borrows your time for favors but never checks on you, or even a grown child who expects you to solve their problems. They're charming when they want something, but silent when you need support. Why they're dangerous? Users make you feel like your value lies in what you give, not who you are. Their one-way relationships chip away at your self-worth, leaving you emotionally empty. Over time, you might feel guilty for saying no or question if you're being too harsh, but deep down, you know, they're not here for you, only for what you provide. This slow erosion can leave you questioning your place in their lives. Mary, 78, had a nephew, Tom, who only called when he needed cash for emergencies. Each time, he'd promised to repay her, sharing heartfelt stories that tugged at her heart. Mary gave willingly, hoping to stay close. But Tom never called on her birthday, never asked about her health, and never repaid a dime. After years of this cycle, Mary felt used. She finally told Tom, I can't help this time, but I'd love to catch up soon. Tom stopped calling altogether. It hurt, but Mary realized his love was tied to her wallet. She started spending her money on small joys, like theater tickets with friends, and found relationships that filled her heart instead of draining it. What to do? You're a treasure, not a tool. Reclaim your worth with these steps. Spot the pattern. Notice if someone only reaches out when they need something. Do they disappear when you're the one in need? That's a red flag. Set firm limits. Practice saying, I can't help this time, or let's talk about something else. Don't explain or apologize. You don't owe them your resources. Invest in mutual love. Seek relationships where care flows both ways. Cherish people who call just to chat, show up for your milestones, or offer a listening ear. Value your giving. When you help someone, do it because it aligns with your heart, not because you feel obligated. Your generosity is a gift, not a debt. You're not someone's backup plan, you're a star. Choose people who love you for your heart, not your handouts, and watch your spirit soar. For the controller, reclaim your voice from those who undermine you who they are. Controllers act like they know what's best for you, questioning your decisions or offering unsolicited advice. They might say, you're too old to start painting, don't move to that new place, it's risky, or you shouldn't give that away. They could be a child who thinks they're protecting you, a spouse afraid of change, or a friend who assumes they know you better than you know yourself. Their help feels like a leash, not love. Why they're dangerous? Controllers rob you of your autonomy, making you feel like a child in your own life. Their constant doubt can shrink your dreams, erode your confidence, and leave you second-guessing your wisdom. You've lived through decades of triumphs and trials, your judgment is gold, but controllers treat it like it's flawed. This subtle suffocation can make your world smaller than it should be. George, 80, wanted to take a cruise to celebrate his retirement, a lifelong dream. His daughter, Lisa, dismissed it. Dad, that's not safe at your age. Why don't you just visit us instead? Lisa's concern felt caring at first, but her endless advice on everything, his diet, his hobbies, his finances, left George feeling trapped. He finally told her, Lisa, I love you, but I'm booking this trip. It's my choice. Lisa was upset, but George went on the cruise, met new friends, and felt alive again. He realized Lisa's control came from fear, not love, and he deserved to trust his own heart. What to do? Your life is yours to steer. Don't let anyone take the wheel. Here's how to stand tall. Trust your wisdom. You've navigated life storms. Your instincts are sharper than ever. Write down a decision you're proud of to remind yourself of your strength. Speak your truth. When someone oversteps, say, I appreciate your concern, but this is my choice. Keep it calm but clear. You don't need their approval. Celebrate your freedom. Make small choices just for you, like trying a new hobby or planning a trip. Each step reinforces your right to lead your life. Seek respectful allies. Surround yourself with people who cheer your choices, not question them. They'll remind you that your voice matters. Your life, your rules. Don't let anyone dim your dreams. You've earned the right to live boldly, trust deeply, and choose freely. 5. The stagnant soul. Don't let the past trap your future who they are. Stagnant souls are stuck in time, clinging to bitterness, blame, or old ways of thinking. They gossip about neighbors, rehash grudges from 30 years ago, or refuse to grow beyond their pain. They might be a sibling still angry about a childhood slight, a friend who complains about the same ex every year, or a relative who sees change as a threat. Their hearts are closed, their minds fixed, and their spirits heavy. Why they're dangerous? Stagnant souls pull you backward into cycles of drama, pettiness, or pain. Their refusal to grow suffocates your own journey toward healing and purpose. In your later years, you're not just reflecting on the past, you're building a legacy of peace and wisdom, but their small-mindedness can trap you in loops of argument arguments, gossip, or resentment, stealing the space you need to thrive. Sarah, 77, had a sister, Ellen, who loved to gossip and dwell on old family fights. Every call was a litany of complaints about their brother's choices or their late mother's will. Sarah tried to share her new passion for volunteering, but Ellen brushed it off, diving back into decades-old drama. Sarah felt stuck, like she was reliving the past. She finally told Ellen, "I love you, but I want to talk about today, not 20 years ago." Ellen didn't change, so Sarah called less often, instead joining a community garden where people shared stories of growth and hope. Sarah's heart felt free, her days full of purpose. What to do? Growth is your superpower. Don't let anyone anchor you to the past. Here's how to move forward. Choose growth. Seek activities that stretch your spirit, like learning a new skill, volunteering, or journaling about your dreams. Growth keeps you alive. Limit toxic talks. When someone drags you into gossip or old fights, redirect them. Let's talk about something new. If they won't budge, step away. Find forward thinkers. Surround yourself with people who are curious, reflective, and open to change. They'll inspire you to keep evolving. Release the burden. You can't force someone to grow. Love them from a distance, pray for them, but don't let their stagnation become your prison. You're not here to relive yesterday, you're here to shine today. Choose people who grow with you, and let your legacy be love, not loops. You've earned your peace, claim it, dear friend. You are a warrior of life. You've raised children through sleepless nights, worked through aching days, and loved through heart-shattering losses. You've given your heart, your hands, and your hope to others, often when you had little left to give. Now, in this golden chapter, it's time to receive peace, receive joy, receive the respect you've earned. You don't have to fix everyone's problems, carry their pain, or prove your worth. You don't have to let guilt, negativity, or control steal your light. Surround yourself with people who see your heart, honor your faith, and celebrate your growth. They're the ones who'll sit with you on that quiet porch, sharing laughter and stories, not complaints or demands. Every time you set a boundary, you're saying, "My peace matters." Every time you walk away from drama, you're stepping toward freedom. Your golden years aren't just about surviving, they're about thriving, with a heart full of purpose and a spirit anchored in truth. Your golden years are your time to shine. Guard your peace like gold, choose your circle with love, and live free because you've earned it.